Hi there. Do you have an evergreen funnel for an online course, membership product, or a coaching offer? And you're trying to figure out how to improve it or what parts are working, what parts are not working? Well, I'm going to walk you through the best way to figure out how to improve your funnel and how to know what's working and not. So, hi there. My name is Carolyn O'Brien, and I help online business managers, director of operations, and other online business owners use data to help them improve their business. So I'm going to walk you through the best way in order to track the performance of an evergreen funnel and then make those decisions in order to improve it. So what tool do I use? I use a Google Sheet. Most people already are using Google Sheets. People know how to access it. It's really easy to collaborate with other team members. So I am going to set this up in a really simple way. So I have my date column here. I tend to freeze the first row and first column for easy data entry. And for an evergreen funnel, I look at numbers on a weekly basis and I look Monday through Sunday, right? The start of the business week, that's going to be the first day that I'm looking at. And each Monday is when I track metrics for the previous Monday through Sunday. And so you can see all of my dates here for each Monday when I'm entering data in for that prior week. The other thing is I have some formulas built in here. This may or may not apply to you, but it just makes it easy when you're entering data in. And I'll walk you through in a minute why I have these set up like this. But we have product price, the payment plan price. So if you have a payment plan, what is the price point of that plan? But then also, what's the total amount that someone's going to pay when they complete all payments, right? So in this example, the one-time offer or the pay in full is $497. The payment plan is $397. And then the total that they'll pay when they complete all of the payment plan is $594. And then there's also an upsell in this funnel. So I have $97 for that. And right, this doesn't change. If it did change, you could adjust it for whatever week it changed. But the kind of point here is that these wouldn't need to be updated on a regular basis, and you could always hide that if you wanted to. Then we go into the page views and opt-ins, right? So this evergreen funnel is using an example of a webinar. It doesn't necessarily have to be a webinar. You can adjust the column headers, but that's what we're going to use for this example. So we have page views, we have opt-ins, and we have the page conversion rate. And so we're just looking at the conversion rate of number of opt-ins over the page views. Anything with a formula I highlight so that I know I can just drag it down in future weeks and I don't have to worry about redoing that formula each time. Where are you going to get this information? So page views, I would recommend getting from Google Analytics. If you have a Google Analytics account set up, you could also get it from your landing page software. So a Kajabi or Lead Pages or Go High Level. It may not be as accurate as Google Analytics, so just keep that in mind. And then opt-ins you're going to get from whatever's hosting your form. So it could be your email software, it could be a Kajabi, it could be your ActiveCampaign. So it just depends on what you're using. Then we have a webinar watch rate. You could get this from where your webinar is being hosted, whether it's EverWebinar, an Easy Webinar, Kajabi, etc. Number of sales, so total number of sales that happened that week. Pay in full, right? So out of those sales, how many were pay in full? And then the payment plan. And so again, we have our formulas built in here. So the payment plan is just looking at total number of sales minus the pay in full. And then the pay in full percent. Again, if you don't have a payment plan option, you could always just delete this out. And then the sales conversion rate. So this is looking at number of sales over opt-ins. So overall, how is that funnel converting? Number of upsell sales, and then the upsell conversion rate. Out of those who did purchase, how many then converted into that upsell? And total sales, this is just counting the full product sales and then the upsell sales. So then this is where we have total revenue and total sales. So revenue is going to be cash collected, and then sales is looking at all future cash that will be collected when payment plans are complete. This is why we have these formulas or these boxes built in here. So we can look at total revenue, right? It's looking at K times B2. So it's looking at the pay in full sales times that pay in full number. Then we have L2 times C2. So it's the times the payment plan number. And then we're looking at the upsell price times upsell sales. So that's going to tell us how much total revenue is collected from this funnel for this week. Again, it's formula, so you can just drag it down each time once that formula is set. And then the sales is looking at the payment plan. So it's the same formula, except for the payment plan sales, it's looking for the payment plan total. So cash collected up front for the week was just over 9,000, but when all those payment plans are in, it will be almost $13,000. And so that is a pretty big difference. And that's why I like to track both of them so you can see how much money did I collect from this funnel in a given week, but then how much will I make from it. Then we have refunds, ad spend, and then ad spend per sale or cost per sale. And so if you're not running ads, you can always delete that. But I find it helpful to include ad spend numbers in this spreadsheet to easily see what is your cost per sale. The other really important note I have is that evergreen funnels change, you make adjustments, and so you want to be able to track those changes. As much as you want to believe that you're going to remember what happened when you made a change to the headline or when you updated a color or when you added in a new payment plan option, you're not going to. And so just add the note in here. And then it makes it really easy to say, oh, I updated an email sequence. Did that have a positive effect on the sales for that week? And so it makes it really easy to go back and check that. Obviously, this can be adjusted and customized as needed. I found this to be the best way to figure out what aspects are working in my funnel and what aspects are not working. If your page conversion rate is not high enough, then that's maybe an area you need to improve. If the webinar watch rate is really low, you can focus your attention there. If you want to try to increase that pay in full percentage, what can you do? Can you offer a specific bonus for pay in full, right? And so if you're able to pinpoint these specific areas of the customer journey, then that's going to help you to improve your funnel. So the next part is how can you visualize this in a way that makes it really easy to understand? So in the next video, I'm going to walk you through how to set this up as a dashboard, and I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek now, but check out my next video to look at this.